Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we're going to be talking about the spell Secret Chest.
I hate everything about that. Whatever that.
All right. My initial thoughts is that this is one of the dumbest spells in the game.
I don't know if I dumbest, huh? When you say dumbest, you mean like just silly, stupid?
Yeah.
Okay. I think the spell is
Not like goofy. Just I can't see. I'm already giving this a spoiler alert.
Okay.
But we'll go into why.
Okay.
But first, what does this do, Sam?
Okay. So to start things out, you're gonna need to spend about $5,000 on a very, very, very fancy chest. So that's the starting point. And then you have to spend 15 more on a miniaturized version of that chest. So out the gate, you need to find some gnome and be like, "Excuse me, sir, I need a smaller version of your finest and most expensive chest, and then I will also need to purchase that chest." And then once you have both of those things, which, you know, as you do, you can spend an action to cast Secret Chest and bind those two things together. And then when you do that, you can then, for the rest of the time, as an action, as long as you're holding the little chest, summon the large chest from the ethereal plane or shunt it over there. So the gist of it is like, oh, I'm going to hide our provisions, I'm going to hide our magic items, whatever, and then shunt them off the ethereal plane. And then you are the only person literally in existence that can ever get them back so long as you have the tiny chest. If you ever lose that tiny chest, oopsie, those are gone forever. After 60 days, there's a chance that, oopsie, everything in the ethereal plane is gone forever anyway. So, I mean, it's 5%er, but like after enough 60 days in time, you will lose everything on the ethereal plane and be like, oh, that's a bummer. There was a artifact weapon in there. Oh, well. So yeah, it basically gives you this sort of extra dimensional storage space that you can shunt things to, and you can just do that over and over again. There's some neat implications where if you have like 100,000 gold, you can just get a bunch of these and just store like an entire library in them if you need to hide them from some evil doer, I guess. I don't know. I think there are some neat little utility things you can do with this. I think it's a spell that if you're not storing important things in it, it can be useful as just like a interdimensional hidey hole that only you have access to. And it can give you some odd points of leverage. It can get you some odd little like, oh, I know you love this prized possession book more than anything else in the world. It'd be a shame if you could literally never touch it again. Let's talk. That's the kind of utility I see this kind of bringing to the table. And I think it's honestly, it probably shouldn't be
book over a fire.
Oh, yeah, but then you can get punched in the face or they can get it out of the fire and they can repair it. All that kind of stuff, right? Listen,
you know how fireworks?
You can repair things if they're in a fire. If you get it out quick enough, sure. In any case, I agree with you to some degree that the spell isn't amazing. I don't think it's as bad as you're making it out to be, but it is quite bad. And most importantly, like, based off of the material components and how this functions, this isn't a spell. This is just a magic item. Like, that's all it actually is. This is, you have a small chest and a large chest that are paired to each other. That's just a magical item. That's not a spell. And this is just a spell that lets you make that magic item.
Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah, but that's what it is. That's something that, but even as a magic item, I don't like it. I don't like even if it's a small chance, I don't like that my stuff that was important enough to put in a secret chest and shove off to the ethereal plane could disappear forever.
So there are some workarounds for that. It's annoying that you have to do maintenance on it, but you do have to do maintenance on it. What you can basically do is once it's bound, you can summon it back before the 60 days are up, dispel magic the chest, and then recast the spell, and you still have the components. They haven't changed or anything like that. And then you can just re-put things in and send it back off. So it's kind of like this little maintenance fee, if you will. This is a wizard-only spell, but like you probably going to have access to those kinds of effects and those kinds of magics. It's not all that hard to really foresee you having the ability to do that. It not being like implicit makes it so there will be some people that will never even try to use it because they'll be like, in 60 days, I'm going to lose all my crap. I don't want to lose all my crap in 60 days when realistically the adventuring day is going to like, you'll be shocked how many D&D campaigns go 20 levels in like a month and a half. Like there's oftentimes a very large series of explosive events that happen to adventurers, and this will last you basically the majority of a campaign. If you're doing like really large travel scope things, then you probably have time to be like, okay, that's fine. I summon the chest back. I dispel magic on these 2 items. They're now unlinked. I recast the spell. These 2 are now linked. Reset everything, and we're good to go. And no one has to worry about anything. It's maintenance. It's annoying, but you can do it.
I should have gotten my oil changed like 2 months ago. Not the spell for me.
Sure, that's fair. If you don't want to deal with that maintenance and you are playing in a game that's that long term, I would even say the spell is still just kind of fine if you can burn 5,000 gold, just because you don't have to put important things in there. And it's sometimes at its best when you aren't putting your important things in there, but you're putting other people's stuff in there. Because putting other people's stuff in there means you now have their stuff and they want their stuff back. And only you, literally no one else, only you can get them that stuff back. So really important phylacteries, really important quest hook, special objective things. If you want to guarantee your wizard is staying alive and the enemy wants that item more than they care about killing you, that is a way to guarantee your wizard will stay alive, is if they're the only one that can access the secret chest, because no one else, even if they have the little mini chest, can access it. Only the caster of the spell can access the secret chest. So that's always something that you're going to be able to have and be like, no matter what happens, if I get a hold of your thing, you have to work with me. We have to be able to bargain here because I'm the only one that can ever get it back for you. And if you put off this bargaining, there's just a chance it's gone forever, and I can't even do anything about that. If I don't summon the chest back and you get it out in time, the longer you put off bargaining and dealing with me, the more likely it is it's just gone on the ethereal forever. That's kind of nifty.
Yeah, you give me a new way to think about this. Now, does the size of the chest matter?
Yes. The chest itself can contain up to 12 cubic feet of non-living material, 3 by 2 by 2.
Oh, non-living. All right, so you're not putting a hostage in there.
Yes, correct. You're not shoving some poor soul into this box and shutting into the ethereal forever.
Well, I was thinking because there's that spell that like not feign death.
Sequester.
Sequester, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good for keeping a hostage, but not in this case. But yeah, a valuable item. But yeah, you could use it for interrogation purposes, like they do with they spin the chamber with the one bullet in it. Are you gonna talk? No.
And you click.
Yeah. But I mean, it's in this case it's 60 days between clicks. That's something.
They got some time to work things out. You got some time to be tortured, but it's a D&D character. They can be tortured however long you want them to be. I also like, even beyond the use case of hiding away other people's stuff, it can just be convenient to say, okay, I'm going to cast secret chest. We're going to hide all of our weapons in here. Now, it's shame on them if they don't remove the tiny little mysterious chest from the cloaked figure. That's their fault if they don't take that away from you. But if you're in particularly dumb individuals or you have a really easy time hiding that specific object, this can be a way to like get all your magic items into a very fine party or something where you're going to try and assassinate somebody. There will be some times you're like, yeah, we need to get into the king's castle. He's outlawed these kinds of magic items, but we need those magic items to do whatever ritual thing. Secret chest is your friend there. There'll be some niche use cases where it pops up. It is not nearly as frequent or like exciting as I'm making it out to be, though. This will be very rarely good.
Is the tiny chest tiny enough to put up your butthole?
Let's see. The tiny chest, a miniature replica that serves as the material component. So it doesn't specify the size of the miniature replica. So I would say, unfortunately, probably.
All right. Well, there's that problem solved.
Easy clap. This is the #1 way to get whatever you need wherever you need to. Just by putting a little mini chest up your butthole, Rick and Morty style, and having a great old time with it.
You don't need to have a great time with it.
That's fair.
I mean, you might.
At the end of the day, I think this is a mediocre spell that's once again like utterly gutted by its material costs. Like the fact that this is something that asks you to maintain it and then also has an absurd upfront cost for a 4th level slot. Like spending $5,000 as a 9th level or a 7th level character, that's not happening at most tables. Like as far like I normally am pretty like, okay, if you're the super rich tables, it's fine. There aren't going to be a lot of super rich tables that have $5,000 to throw around by this level.
For this purpose.
Yeah, for this specific purpose, it's so incredibly niche. You have to be going against a MacGuffin carrying villain specifically and need to have access to that MacGuffin. That doesn't seem all that like it's gonna be many tables. I think if you get to like the super high tiers, you can just be like, yeah, sure, I'll spend $5,000 and buy myself a magic item. Sure. Yeah. If you don't have a bag of holding, sure. Bag of holding is probably better than this. Most magic item containers can be better than this.
Magic items have like costs, right?
They tend to, and they're not consistent or varied, or they're not consistent or like great to rate by their
considered power. A magic item though, so this wouldn't have a cost. That's weird.
Yeah,
Well,
this is a build your own secret chest. I mean, if you were a DM and you're like, hey, I want my players to have access to a secret chest, and you're like, how much should it cost? The actual answer is less than 5,000 gold. This probably is like a 250 gold kind of item. This isn't that good. At the same time, like if you were like, well, rules is written, this is what the cost says of the making it of it is, I might as well make it cost 5,050 gold.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna go with this is a 2. I don't think this is unusable. I don't think this is very usable on most people, but there'll be the occasional game where you'll have a lot of fun with it. I think there will be some clever and creative people that like the idea of the interdimensional space, the hiding of items, the sneaking things in. There'll be some games that care a lot more about no armed weapons going into the whatever, and you'll be able to be like, that's fine, secret chest them all out, that kind of thing. There will be some ways that you'll find that some players will find use for this. I'm probably not putting it on my character sheets. I think most people that are playing this game are putting on their character sheets because that's probably in the upper tiers. Whenever you're like 11th through 17th levels, whenever you're like, okay, this is a pretty easy ask. Anytime lower than that, $5,000? Are you kidding me? Yeah, nah.
Yeah, you can do almost the same stuff, like with a bag of holding, roll it up, and probably not shove it up your butthole, but there are ways to get it past the guards.
Yeah,
I don't know. I won't give it a 1. I'll begrudgingly give it a 2.
I'm glad I convinced you that it has enough use that it's worth a 2. So that's where I think it is.
All right, everyone. That was Secret Chest. Thank you, Sam, and thank you everyone for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, informative, or entertaining, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button below. You needn't smash it. A gentle tap will suffice. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. And make sure you check out the links in the description where you'll find my Caverns and Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels, Sam's full review of the spell, and other fun things.